Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 12 of the third season here in the Youth Regen RTG series. It's the final episode of the season. This is the season roundup and squad report, etc. We'll have a think about next year as well. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any of season 4. In this one, as always, we'll have a look at the competitions we were involved in, the other larger competitions around Europe, and then have a final rundown of who's grown by how much in our side, and have a little bit of a think about what we might do in the transfer window next season. So we'll start with the competitions that we were involved in. Of course, if you want to avoid any spoilers, if you haven't caught up on previous episodes, then there is a season finale episode from yesterday, championship season finale. I'll give you just a couple of beats to perhaps go and click on that video first and watch that before we step over and show you that we finished in 7th place in the championship this year, unfortunately, missing out on the playoffs by a single point. Had we beaten Birmingham when we played them in the episode before last, or even drawn against Birmingham in the episode before last, we would have been in the playoffs. But we lost 5-3, and subsequently they've overtaken us and flew up into 5th, knocked Bristol City down to 6th, and us down to 7th. Leeds there in 8th, level on points with me. It was very, very tight for the playoffs, and unfortunately we just got pipped out. Bournemouth win the league though. Middlesbrough will also get automatic promotion. We won't be playing Wigan, Sheffield United or Millwall next season though, because they have been relegated. To be fair, when we came up to this division, we were pretty sure we were going to get relegated, or at least threatened with relegation. To even being with a chance of a playoff spot was a dream come true. So I'm genuinely not too disappointed that we missed out. We will do much better next year, maybe even threaten for automatic promotion. As you can see, Chelsea have won the FA Cup. Congratulations to them. Manchester United, despite losing the final of the FA Cup, win on penalties against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. Birmingham City also won the playoffs. So not only did they sneak into the playoff spots on the last day, they also have gotten themselves back up to the Premier League as well. Remarkable. Well done, Birmingham City. European Super Cup was won by Tottenham this year. They beat Bayern Munich at the beginning of the season by 2-0. The Champions League this year was won by an English team. It's Manchester City that win the Champions League, 2-1 over Barcelona. The Europa League, when it eventually changes slate, was won by... Nearly. Liverpool by 3-1. Is that a sign of things to come for European competition this year in real life? Of course, Liverpool in the Champions League final this season. We'll have to wait and see. In the Euros for 2020, currently Portugal top their group, Germany top theirs, the Netherlands top theirs with England in 2nd, and Spain top theirs, still with a game to play in each group, however. We'll have a quick look at the other leagues around Europe to see who won in those divisions and who's going to be in the Champions League next year. Of course, doesn't directly affect us at this stage. Manchester United, though, have done a double. They won the Premier League and the Carabao Cup, as we saw earlier. Very tight title race. United on 85, City on 84, Spurs on 83, then Liverpool on 80 and Chelsea on 77. Very tight title race. We will be playing, 16 points for Sheffield Wednesday this year. I'm probably in the way with the green screen, I apologise. Sheffield Wednesday, 16 points. Brighton and Wolves will come back down to the Championship. We will be playing them next year. I didn't want to back out of that. I'm annoyed at myself. But that was a very tight title race. I'm not sure whether there was anything tight with regards to the other top leagues. Wow, Brentford destroyed League One. We will be playing them next year, as well as Blackburn. They got automatic promotion this year. Of course, we beat them in the playoffs last year. Charlton, Luton, Oxford and Rotherham involved in the playoffs in League One. No idea who's going up. Well, unfortunately for me, Cambridge United finished rock bottom of League One. So they'll be in League Two next year. Rochdale, Southend and Fleetwood all relegated as well. Coming up are Doncaster, Lincoln City and Northampton automatically. And then Mansfield, Coventry, Bury and Swindle will fight it out for the playoffs. If there was non-league, Cheltenham and Morecambe would be down there into it. Paris Saint-Germain win Liga by a single point. Some really tight title races this season. No tight title race in Germany. Bayern win with an undefeated season as well. Congratulations to them. Invincibles 34 games played, no defeats. In Italy, Juventus win by 6 points ahead of Napoli, who were 4 points ahead of AC Milan. And we will quickly scroll across and have a look at Spain, of course. Ajax win in the Netherlands, Sporting win in Portugal, Celtic in Scotland, and Barcelona by 3 points from Real Madrid in Spain. La Liga goes Barcelona's way yet again. With regards to player stats this year, we did have some high scorers, but none that threatened the top scorers in the league charts. Fabrini getting the top goal scorer award, the Golden Boot. He scored a couple of bangers against me in the 5-3 defeat against Birmingham that subsequently has turned out to be the result that meant that we didn't stand the chance of winning a spot in the playoffs, or in the Premier League via the playoffs. We do have Badimo there with 13 though. He's the first of any AFC Wimbledon players in that list, and the only of any in that list. Didn't have too many top goal scorers this year, or high scoring players this year. Badimo got 11 assists as well, which is interesting to see. Any other Wimbledon players there? De Jong on 8 assists too. Congratulations to him. No others. Asmir Begovic got the most clean sheets. Bennett's up there with 9 in 8th place. He's my highest rated player now, Bennett, actually. So he's actually doing very, very well. We'll have to wait and see what happens with regards his growth in the next season as well. I'm hoping he doesn't decide that he's too big for the club and wants to leave. With regards to board objectives, we finished on 85%, or 85 manager popularity rating. Finished the season with a profit margin of 8.8 million. We will complete that. We didn't do either of the youth development ones, unfortunately, despite having 15 eligible players, and we did 3 of the 4 for the secondary option. Brand exposure, within 3 seasons, increased the season ticket holders with at least 10% of stadium capacity. We've not been able to do any of that, apparently. We will get a tick for that. Finish the season with a profit margin one. I was never going to be able to do the transfer profit one. We avoided relegation, and we reached round of 32 of the FA Cup, and obviously no continental success. So I think we can put that down as a relatively successful season, don't you? Let's have a look then and see who grew by what this year in our squad. I'll go to attributes. Bennett up 4 to 80. I've not trained him for over a year now, and he just continues to grow. He's getting better and better. Morrison is up 1 to 70 as well, a decent standard for a backup. Cooper's up 5 to 74. I've not been training him either. Nice to see his acceleration and sprint speed getting a little bit quicker as well. He's very, very good as a right back. Capable replacement in Ewan Young is currently out on loan at Crewe. 66 rated, up 6 overall this year, so nice to see him growing. To be fair, I don't think there's any players that aren't growing at this stage. Will Robinson up 4, although I believe he's leaving. Well, his contract expires in 1 month, so yes, he's leaving. Stefan Makeras, he wants to leave. He's unhappy at the club. I brought him in because he's a Stefan Lichtsteiner regen, and he's not been that good. When I used him, I wasn't overly impressed with him. Maybe as he continues to grow, he will get better. I'm not going to look to move him on, even though he wants to leave. Bejarano, I am looking to move on, and he does want to leave as well, up 1. Hagland wants to leave. He's up 2, and I'm willing to let him go. Giovanni Bruno, currently 54 rated. I think he's got good potentials with regards to his end game, but we'll have to wait and see when he gets over 60 rated what his potential tag is. Oliver Rose is up 3 to 66. What's his potential tag? Showing great potential, so he could be quite good. Renzo Ferreira's up 2 to 72. Nicolas Sensi's up 2 to 69. Andreu's up 2 to 69 as well. Not sure if he's a regen of anyone or not at this stage, but he's pretty capable. Lucas Clark has asked to go out on loan, which I'll probably allow him to do. Continuing to be one of my best and most consistent players, Vasil Dimitrov. Only 72 rated, but still very consistent performer. Mackenzie, I'll let go. He's on the transfer list. McCall is out on loan and has grown by 4 at Cheltenham, even though they finished bottom of the Football League. Samuel de Jong up 1 to 73. He's now seen his place in the first team gone to Ruben Hara, who's been starting alongside Lugano recently. He continues to grow, up 2 to 71. He was my Scout Future Star from Season 1. And Lugano, of course, my Scout Future Star from Season 2. Tom Main is leaving me, I believe. Yep, joining Portsmouth. Jackson is up 4 to 68. Is he leaving me? No, he's an exciting prospect, apparently. I haven't played him too much, I don't think. No, just the 3 games. Mainly because I've just got a plethora of central midfielders, far too many. And I'll show you in the youth setup, actually, we've had another couple gems come through as well. All at centre mid, of course, obviously. Aiden Peterson, I think his contract expires, actually, doesn't it? Yeah, he's going to leave me. Neumann, he was my Scout Future Star, I think, from this season. No, I can't remember, actually, my Scout Future Star was from this season. But he has the potential to be special, so he could get into the 90s. Annoyingly, he's terrible to play with. 78 acceleration, 61 sprint speed. His low strength doesn't help him out. And despite having 99 ball control now, his technicals grow fantastically well, but he's just not very good when I use him, which is a real shame. Hopefully he continues to grow, and hopefully he will become a good and solidly usable player, but that 1-star skill moves kills him off as a winger. George Cooper, up 6 to 63. He will continue to grow. I am training him. Dennis Moraes, I'm going to move him on now. Not really too sure that he's going to be any good. Is he on the transfer list? He will be next year. Lugano, up to 75, up 4. Haven't trained him. He's genuinely just growing off his own back. Really pleased with the way that he's come into the side and had an immediate effect. When I first started using him, I didn't like him. Now, I very much do. Nicholas Schwartz, it's up 11 to 68 this year. You can see his stats growing quite considerably on the technical front. I don't recall training him too heavily either, so nice to see him growing quite considerably off his own back. We'll have to wait and see how he continues to grow. Dave Walker's up 3 to 70. He's showing great potential, though he's unhappy and has asked for a transfer. Genuinely has asked to leave the club. I'm not sure whether I'll let him go or not, though. Murray's contract is expiring at the end of this year. He'll leave. Campbell's contract is expiring. He will leave too. Marcus Hughes is up 5 to 67. He's a very capable player. 28 games played, actually, for him this year. Castaneda, he's going to be very good. Has potential to be special. Expect him to get into the latter stages of the 70s next season, if not perhaps early 80s. Hopefully his growth can continue at the rate it has done this year, although of course I did train him quite considerably. Will Bell up 3 to 71. One of our earlier acquisitions, continues to grow, continues to be involved. Aidan McCall, is he leaving me? No. Exciting prospect, up 5 to 71. Daniele Barber came in this year and been very good for me. 8 goals in 15 league games and 1 assist as well. Also picking up an assist in the FA Cup too. Pleased with him. 5-star skills. Great physicals for the level that we're at. And we've been training his finishing. And I have now switched. Actually not to training Esteban Munoz, but to training Mancinelli. Esteban Munoz is up 3 to 62, but he doesn't have that little green squiggle arrow next to him in the training module, so he's not going to grow that well. However, Mancinelli will. He got 8 goals in 22 games though, so he's clearly effective as he is. Mancinelli is up 5 to 65 this year and has 6 goals, 5 assists. And he has better potential. So I'm going to concentrate the training on Mancinelli. However, we are, as I'll show you in a moment, looking at other strikers to bring in place of Munoz and Mancinelli for next year. Badimo's up 13 to 71 this year. I did heavily train him, of course, but in the end ended up being my top goal scorer. So really pleased with him. He didn't quite... Well, I don't know whether... I still don't know whether he's a Samuel Eto'o replacement or not. Or regen even, but I think he might be. We'll just have to wait and see. Right, I'll show you the youth players that we have currently. We have Ismael Gerardo, who's literally brand new. I signed him this month. 70 to 94 potential. He's 62 rated currently. I'm intrigued to see how he grows. Stefano Conti, a left back, has potential of 85 to 91. So he's definitely one to keep hold of. Hoping, though, that his acceleration and sprint speed will improve. We then have Jordan Richardson, 91 to 94 potential, and crucially, which has not been the case with a couple of kids that have been in this youth squad, he's growing without me training him while still in the youth squad. He's grown from the mid-50s to 60 rated without me touching him. So he's up looking like he's going to be incredible. Kouassi, 75 to 93. I don't know how he's going to grow. Conti looks like he's going to have better potential, but he's got better physicals, Stefan Kouassi, although he's not as good in the tackle. But the extra physicals might mean that he's more favourable for a role, because I can of course train his technicals. I can't train his physicals, but we'll keep everyone in the youth squad for now. We have Augustin Cardenas, 83 to 94 potential. Not sure what to do with him. Yves Konate, 80 to 94 potential for a centre back. Decent physicals already. apart from his reactions, which is terrible. Could train his technicals. 6'2", hoping that when he turns 16, he will continue to grow. And then we have Americo Vergara, 54 rated, 82 to 94 potential. So we've got some high potential players in here, and a number of them are centre mids, as well as Ismail Harada, who's a left mid, but hopefully he can grow quite considerably. And then, of course, with regards to the striking role, we'll be looking for a Zlatan regen at the beginning of next year, because, as you can see, he's retiring at the end of the season. So we'll look for a Zlatan regen, Swedish regen striker in the Premier League. And then, thinking about bringing in Michael Kadlec, depending on how much money I've got. He, we believe, is most certainly a Petr Cech regen. And then we've got some strikers as well with regards to regens. Michele Pons was the guy with good physicals, but not amazing technicals, but we could grow those. Then we have his 4-star skill moves as well. Then there's Balenciaga, who is 5'8", again good technicals and okay physicals, 64 rated. Olmo Lozano, 4-star skills at 6'5", and quick too, or at least quick enough, 84 acceleration, 86 sprint speed. Not the best technicals though. And then Ramon Hinojo, 6'2", again quite quick and better technicals, 69 rated currently. I will make a move for at least one of these strikers next year. I might make it Olmo Lozano, considering he's 6'5", although 6'2". It's the 1-star weak foot that kills me off, really, with Hinojo. Because Badima's got 1-star weak foot, and it genuinely does affect his overall performance. So I might go for the lower-rated Olmo Lozano. Although, alternatively, we might find some more regens next year that look even better. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm not going to actively look now for players via youth scouts. We already have a big enough squad. We already have enough players that have the potential to grow into the mid-80s to late 80s/early 90s. I'm going to concentrate on what I've got, and then once we get a great team, then we can look for more youth players and start moving, first teamers on for youth players. It's a case of we have the numbers now, and then when I get the chance to move players on and bring youth players in, I will do that. But for now, I'm just going to hold fire because we have a decent sized squad. We have enough players, as you can see. I'm going to be losing a handful because of contracts, but that's still not a problem. So I'm very pleased with this season. Very pleased indeed. It is disappointing to have not been able to get a playoff spot, but it's not overly concerning. Next year, with further improvements, we should definitely challenge for the playoffs. If not, hopefully, maybe challenge for an automatic spot, although we were a considerable margin away from an automatic spot this year, a full 17 points, which is a long way. If we had 17 less points in the league, we'd have been on 55, which would have meant that we finished 18th. So you can see the margins that we're dealing with. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. And I'll see you next time.